Hey guys, just wanted to give you a quick update on what I've been working on for the past almost 2 weeks. Been really busy trying to get this ready for submission. Been well, testing and testing and testing, and some things have come out of that. A lot of cleanup of the old code. I've been commenting all of the blueprints. I've literally spent probably so far about 6 hours total just commenting all of the blueprints, which is took a lot longer than I expected, but there's a lot of stuff here. But I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not done. I'm only missing the player BP, which is really the most complicated one. So I would expect that to take quite a bit of time. I have to go through every single variable and function and event and comment it. But something you'll find once you do get this is that every single blueprint will have not only all of the nodes explained, right, like you're seeing here, but I'm including a little description paragraph in green. So I'm trying to color code this. So every blueprint, if you just open it and you want to know what it is, you should be able to just quickly figure out what the heck the blueprint is doing, right? So this is the track VP, the main blueprint that is used to guide the player when they're on rails. And you can see literally this is what I say here. This is the main track the player will traverse while playing on rails through the level. And then it tells you it's spline based, so you just need to drag it and create the different spline points and what this is used for. So if you want to know how the AI works for the boss, open all of the AI, open the tree and open all the different events, and you can see exactly what it's doing. Same for the boss BP, when it shoots, how the health is handled. All this should hopefully be very well documented. So just by going through the blueprint in the comments, you should be able to understand how I'm doing things. Couple of things that came out of the testing, I had to redo the way I'm doing movement, which took a while. uh, so far I've been testing everything at pretty much 120 frames per second, which is kind of what my editor runs on. But then I started testing at lower frame rates like 60, 30, 45, whatever. And I noticed that the movement wasn't smooth because I wasn't normalizing for frame rate. Again, those are the things that you get when you're testing. So I had to rewrite a few things and try to figure out exactly what was happening. And there was this bug, or I thought it was a bug, with the camera where it looked like it was very choppy at 30 frames per second, which I think I finally figured out. But that literally took me about 5 to 6 hours total just to try to wrap my head around what the heck was going on. So again, I'm giving you all the detail, not that it matters, but I am doing progress even if I'm not showing you. It's trying to get everything polished enough that is ready for production, right? That when you buy it, you feel like, okay, this is actually, it's been well tested, it's gonna have minimal bugs, hopefully, and it runs as it should, no matter what machine you have, right? So if you can run this at 30 frames per second, I've normalized the speed for the AI, for the player movement and everything. Now it doesn't really matter the frame rate. You should still be able to run it. Obviously, I would recommend higher frame rates, at least 60 frames per second for better smooth movement. But, you know, it is what it is. So let me just show you some things that I'm kind of rambling here. One cool thing that I did, this was kind of not too difficult, was, when you pick up the different pickups that spawn, like this is the laser pickup. The old way was very simple. You go through the pickup and you just get it, right? So if I just hit play here, and I'm just gonna get this pickup, this is the laser pickup. I get it, and you can see that now I have the laser, I'm shooting double laser. Right, so that's the simple way. So what I did is I, again, took a cue from Star Fox and did a few things now. So if you click on the pickup, and this is pretty much the same for any of the pickups down here, you now have the option to stick to the player. And you can have the pickup rotate and shrink. So you have the options here, whether, what behavior do you want exactly for the pickup. So the old one, you just pass through and get it, and this is the new one. Pretty cool. Those are the little details, right, that in my mind are part of the polish, right? those are the things that make difference, that make the game feel like a game, right? And if you look at or you play Star Fox, right, I watch a lot of videos, you'll notice all those little details, right, that make the game feel dynamic. So to me this is pretty cool. It wasn't that hard to do. It took me about hour and a half yesterday, but to me gives it a nice feeling that, you know, you grab the pickup and you can see the pickup kind of following you for a few seconds, and then shrinks, gives you the power up. Same thing happens for health, you know, for shield, anything like that. And you can customize pretty much everything, right? How long it stays stuck to the player, whether it rotates or not, how fast it rotates, how much it shrinks, how fast it shrinks. Pretty much, you know, it's up there all commented. So that's pretty cool. Another thing I did, which I'm really excited for, is I smooth the movement, right? So when you're going on the track, you're basically offsetting the ship within a 2D plane, right? You're going Y from left and right, and Z from up and down, right? And X is just going through the spline. So before, as soon as you press the button, right, it would just it would do a linear interpolation. Basically, it would have immediate acceleration, and it would just move in a uniform way, and that's fine. But if you really look at the way that a lot of the shooters are made, they're not really done like that. So if you look at this quick video, just I'm gonna put it here without the sound, and of course it has to go through this ad, but I just want to show you the reasoning, because I think you'll agree, right? So if you look at, this is the latest Star Fox, when this player is moving the ship, notice that the ship is rotating faster than it's moving at the very beginning, right? So in essence, while you're moving your joystick left and right, the location of the ship is moving slightly, while the rotation and the aim is moving a lot more. And the reason for that is so you can actually have an easier time to aim. If you don't do the smoothing, what happens is that as soon as you hit left, the ship rotates, but your ship also moves to the left an equal amount, and it makes it very jerky, trying to be very accurate, right? So I try to figure out exactly, just looking at videos and looked at Star Fox 64, how exactly are they doing this? And the way they're doing it is that when you press your movement key, it's the movement of the player starts slow and then ramps up, but the rotation is more linear, and that's exactly what I did. So I have now, and you know, all this crap is gonna get cleaned up, but what I have now is movement smoothing, and I'll show you in a second here, but I'm actually using a curve, and you can see here, this curve actually defines how fast the player moves when you press left and right or up and down. So, and you'll see the difference. It does make, in my opinion, a significant difference. So you can either skip the smoothing altogether and just have it perfectly linear, or you can tailor it by using these smooth Y and smooth Z curves, literally a curve, and try to make this behavior a lot better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the track, and I'm gonna show you without smoothing and then with smoothing. So let's just start here. And as soon as we start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off smoothing. And by the way, I added the option of smooth movement here, as well as track rotation and offset speed. So you can play with these values to kind of change the behavior. But let me just take smoothing out to show you what the game looks like without any smoothing, right? So if I press left, the ship is just moving left and right, as you can see here, in a uniform way. So if I'm trying to hit, you know, you can see how jerky it gets if I'm trying to hit something, right? I'm pressing left and right, and you can see the difference. Now if I go ahead and turn on smoothing, look at what happens now. I'm pressing left, and because I have that curve, it waits an extra second and then it goes down, making the movement a lot smoother, right? So now if I just go left and right, notice how the ship moves a little bit less, but my reticle actually moves a lot easier. So those are the little details, and of course, again, you can customize how fast the rotation goes. and how fast you move, right? So all these values can be customized. But again, it's a subtle difference, but when you're actually playing, it actually makes, in my opinion, a big difference, right? Especially when you're playing with a controller. If you have an Xbox controller, it does make a big difference in how it plays. It's just a lot easier to aim now. So that's pretty much. I have a few things. Oh, one more thing I wanted to show is this blueprint here. As I'm testing again, a lot of things are coming up, right? So I'm also creating some debug functions within the player blueprint. So if you ever wanted to debug, for example, the location where you are in the spline, because the way I'm doing the movement is I'm doing movement based on the time on the spline. So let's say that you want to test an area that's really at the end of the level. Well, if I wanted to test something around here, and I just click play here where the camera is, how do I get on the track? Right, I'm not on the track, I'm in all range mode, but I want to test it out while I'm on the track because the movement is different. So what I did is I created this simple debug tool, and all you do is you literally set the distance along track, the actual distance in unreal units that will actually teleport you. So what I'm going to do is now, let's say I want to test out the end of the level there. I can just put this on the track, and as soon as I hit it, it'll just literally teleport me within the track to the right location. And again, you wouldn't know this unless you're really playing the game and trying to debug it, but you can see how now I am towards the end of the level here. Right? And this is the towards the end of the level. Right, so I basically jumped all the way from there to here. So there's a lot of little things that, you know, collectively they're minor, but it'll make your life so much easier when you're trying to actually create your actual game and debug your game. Oh, one more thing I wanted to show. Again, these are all, again, minor things. Notice, you know, you can lock onto enemies, and you knew that before, but now, notice on the bottom right corner, I'm actually, I'm actually having the locked target be shown on the radar. So you can see I'm having locked, but look on the radar on the bottom right. It has the little yellow cross. So again, just nice touch. So if you want to keep an enemy locked in, you can see that the radar actually shows you where that enemy is. So yet one more way, this was again super simple to do, but one more way that, you know, just make it more useful. See? Keeps it on the radar. Alright, cool. There's a few other things that I need to do to get this ready. I need to finish commenting the blueprints. There's a little camera issue when you're transitioning from one track to the other that I need to fix. And then just general testing. But the movement is a lot smoother now, no matter your frame rate, so I'm not going to show that now. It's kind of pointless, but just trust me, it's a lot better. There is smooth movement, like I just showed. You can smooth down your movement. To me, that makes a big difference. And now you have little extra things like the pickups. So hopefully you like where this is going. I know it's taking forever, but this is needed to get this ready. So I'm hoping that I can finish pretty much everything else on my list this week. Commenting, fixing the camera issue, testing more, and then I can do that submission next week for Epic. So let me know what you think, and if you have any other ideas as I'm finishing up here, any little things that you'd like to see or polish, leave it out in the comments. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. Thanks a lot.